Hey there! I just finished this Dark Mechanicus Magos, and in this video I want to show you the sketching process that went into the miniature, and at the end of the video I'll show you the miniature itself and highlight some details. So for this miniature I received a question which was to make a Magos based on the old Karamazov Inquisitor model and combine that with Magos on Abeyant. The other requests were that he would have a couple of gun servitors like the Inquisitor, but also a chain fist. And then came a couple of words that meant very little to me, like a photon gauntlet, a cyber familiar, an augury scanner, and some rad grenades. And of course, cables! Cables everywhere! Anyway, that was enough for me to get started on some work. And my first idea was to combine the old Luminarch with some Dark Mechanicus and Adeptus Mechanicus stuff. This is also why I bought the Dark Mechanicus Legions Imperialis kit, which I showed in the previous video, and which are a big part of this build. So as I said, in this video I'm showing the sketching process, because I think there's some interesting moments in there, and it shows you my thinking process. I'm using some sticky putty to stick stuff together without having to glue it, so that I can see whether it works or not. And before the build and during the build I just collect parts that look cool and that might fit with the rest. So at this point I'm pretty happy with what it looks like for now, and I'll just add some more details to get a first sketch. Now what I do a lot during the sketching is start over completely. So here you see me remove all of the sticky putty and all of the bits so that I have a clean miniature to start again. I also turned it upside down here to use parts in a different way than they're supposed to be, because often it really changes the look of the part and makes it quite unrecognizable. I really couldn't do it for the Luminarch here because all the details are upside down and all the skulls and all the writings on there. So this is the second sketch for this model and would be the second option for the final build. The only thing that was still missing was a back for the chair because it's supposed to be a throne. When you're working with sticky putty, after a while there's just sticky putty all over your model, and the things that you try to stick onto the putty don't really stick anymore. That's a dumb sentence. Anyway, and when I get to that point I usually just pull everything apart and redo the sticky putty just to make a good fit again. Now in this case, if you pay close attention, something interesting happens. And this is the moment I realized it myself. Oh, dat is ook wel dope. Because I reattached the Magos backwards by accident. And that's a very nice accident actually, because I liked it so much that it stayed like this the rest of the build. And after some more sketching, this is my response. Holy moly, this... I was quite happy with the result, and so was the one who requested it. So at this point I stopped sketching and started building, but the whole build process is simply too much for this video. So I'll just include a couple of in-between build steps, which you'll see here. I did a couple of things. I removed the backing of the chair by request. Gave him a nice big collar and a gun on some mechanical arms. And then of course came the most important part, which was all of the cables everywhere. And there we have him, Mr. Magos on his flying throne days thing. I don't know what it is. It's cool. I don't know what it is. And he has lots of gadgets with him. And there's this engine at the back, which I also built, and some stuff at the bottom to make him float. I really like how his collar turned out. And one of the best bits for me is this coffin with the skeleton inside. And there's skulls everywhere, of course, and attached to cables. And here's the servitor linked to his huge gun. Here's another detail of the build. On top, just a skull and a tiny servitor looking at each other. And more skulls. There he is. He looks very pleased with himself. I would be too. More cables. And of course the new claw that he finally got, which is also based on the Dark Mechanicus bits. Here's a small size comparison to a Terminator. It's really quite a big model in the end. And I attached 3 pins to the bottom that stick through cables. Those are to attach them to the base to make it look like it's actually floating. So, that's it for this build. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.